So the description of the gross body raises a legitimate doubt. Am I the doer, or am I something beyond the doer? Because the self has been defined, Atman has been defined as that which is beyond the Panchakoshas, beyond the Stula Sharira, Sushma Sharira, Karna Sharira, and he is the witness of the three states of consciousness and Satchidananda. These were the definitions. And then it was said the body is the result of good or bad deeds that you have done in the past. So these two descriptions of the self do not gel. So the question comes, am I the doer, or am I beyond the doership? That question, let it remain with you, because we will be tackling that question later. That question is a legitimate question which we will deal with it toward the end of this chapter. Now we are in the Sukshma Sharira. What exactly is the Sukshma Sharira? So it was said you are beyond the Stula Sharira and the Sukshma Sharira. So what is the Sukshma Sharira? Let us read it. Apanchīkrita panchamaha bhūdeihi kritam panchamaha bhūdeihi kritam satkarmajanyam sukha dukkhādi bhoga āyat sadhanam pancha jnānendriyāni pancha karmendriyāni pancha prānādayah manascha ekam buddhischa eka evam saptadashākalābhihi sahayastishtadi tad sukshma shariram. So this is the subtle body. Tad sukshma shariram. Sukshma sharira is that which is described in the following manner. What is the description? Apanchīkrita panchamahabhūdeihi kritam satkarmajanyam sukha dukkhādi bhoga sadhanam. Let me take up that phrase. Sukha dukkhādi bhoga sadhanam. Earlier it was said the body is a hut, a counter through which you interact and then gain experience of pleasure and pain. That was seen earlier. Now you need an instruments to contact the world. Like you need a telephone or a fax or a email to contact the outside world. Similarly, you need instruments. Sitting at home, you will not be able to contact anybody. So these wires should go out and then connect you with the outside world. So what is that which connects you with the outside world, or the instrument through which you transact business with the world? That is the Sukshma Shariram. So Sukha Dukkhādi Bhoga Sadhanam. Sadhana means the instrument, the tool. The tools with which, the instruments with which you contact the world of sensation, the world of objects. So seated in this body, through these instruments, you contact the world and harvest experience of pleasure and pain. That is what you harvest from the world as you interact with the world. Sometimes there is good harvest, sometimes there is bad harvest also. You interact with the world. So Sukshma Sharira is the instruments of contact. Stula Sharira is the locus or the house seated where you contact the world. So Sukha Dukkhādi Bhoga Sadhanam. And this Sukshma Sharira is again Satkarma Janyam. It is born of your, Janyam means born, of your past good and bad deeds. Defects, defective eyes, defective vision, or all those kind of defects According to this theory, it's all the result of your past deeds and thoughts. That's how you get into these defects. So, satkarma janyam. So, if you have all the limbs intact, eyes, ears, nose, organs of action, the mind, the intellect, then you can thank your stars. I did some good deeds in the past, therefore I have all these limbs intact. If I don't have them, then one has to take responsibility for that. Individual has to take responsibility and then do the necessary. One need not sit with a resigned attitude. You have to take responsibility. Don't blame anybody. Spirituality essentially means not blaming anybody for your fortunes or misfortunes. A spiritual person never blames. He does not even blame God. Oh God, why did you create me like that? He created you because you wanted it that way. But I never wanted it this way. You wanted it this way in your past lives. You are not knowing how it all these little deeds you have done will lead you. Where will it lead you? You did not know. But some or other, moment by moment, choice by choice, action by action, deed by deed, you created your present life. So, satkarma janyam. So, if you have all the limbs intact, that means you have done some good deeds in the past. My good karma. I can see well, I can eat well, I can digest what I eat, I can sit properly, my good karma. If I don't have these facilities, how do you console yourself? My bad karma. Now let me do some good karma so that I can utilize it to the best of my capacity. That is all what you can say. So, satkarma janyam. So, satkarma means deeds as well as the motives behind the deeds. Together, the quality of your actions is determined by the quality of your deeds and the motives behind it. You may do a good deed with a bad motive. You may give food to another person, let's say a poor man, hungry, you give him food but with a lot of shouting. You idiot, useless person, eat this. That means you have done a good deed, but your thoughts were not that good. So you don't get the result at all. So actions, deeds should be supported, supplemented by motives, right? Good intentions and motive. So kridam satkarma janyam. And what are the material with which this subtle body is made? It says apanchikrita panchamahabhudehi. The material elements with which the body is made is apanchikritam, pure basic elements. Panchamahabhutam. So Panchamahabhuta is akasha, space, air, fire, water, earth. And it's subtle aspect of all this. Not the gross space that you see outside, but the subtle element with which the whole creation is constituted or created, these 5 elements. So they are uncompounded basic elements. Apanchikrita panchamahabhudehi kridam satkarma janyam sugadukkadi bhoga sadhanam. And what are the various parts of this subtle body? Subtle body is a very complex machinery, if I can use that word, very complex. They say there are sapta dasha kalabhihi, there are sapta, 7, dasha, 10, 17 kala parts for the subtle body. And that subtle body is fitted into the gross body, like a software for a hardware computer. You have to put this software, and it is the software which makes things possible. So you punch in a question and then it comes out with an answer. So that's what the computer essentially does. Its function is determined by the software you put in. This is a very latest software, it can do more functions. So this way you have this software fitted in called the subtle body. Subtle body has got 17 parts. What are the 17 parts of the subtle body? Pancha Jnanendriyani, 5 organs of perception. Jnanendriya means organs of perception. 5 of them. Now you will be thinking, what are those 5 elements? The answer is already there. 5 organs of perception, Jnanendriyas, sense organ. So Pancha Jnanendriyani, Pancha Karmendriyani, 5 motor organs, organs of action. 5 of them. You know what are the 5 organs of action and organs of perception. If you don't know, we are going to explain it to you. So 5 organs of, first of all, let's see what are the 17 items. Karmendriyani, Pancha Pranadayaha, and 5 physiological functions or physiological organs which have got their own function. So 5 physiological organs, 5 perception sense organs, 5 motor organs, organs of action. Now how many are there? 15. And Manascha Egam, 1 mind, and Buddhischa, 2nd Buddhi. So Buddhi and Mana, there are 17 of them. These 17 things together constitute your subtle body, the instrument with which you interact with the world. Now let me briefly say what are these organs of perception, organs of action, and 5 pranas. The organs of perception are eyes, ears, nose, mouth or tongue, and the skin. These are the organs of perception. Through the eyes you see forms, through the ears you hear sound, though limited. You don't hear all the sound. Good for you. So you don't see. So through the ears you hear the sound, through the tongue you taste various tastes, bitter, sour, sweet, etc. And then through the nose you smell, good, bad smell. And then through the skin you feel the touch, the texture, the hardness, the softness of things, the pressure, etc. are felt by the skin. So these are the only 5 instruments of contacting the world. You have no other way of knowing the world except through these 5 sense organs. If you are given a 6th sense organ, you may open a new window of perception, and more things would have been available to you. But maybe there are no more things to know in the material world, because God is very parsimonious in His creation. He won't unnecessarily create instrument and confuse you. There is no function for a 6th organ, therefore only 5 organs. And now these 5 sense organs through which the world is constantly pouring into you, as sound, touch, form, color, taste, etc. The world is constantly pouring into you. And then you are responding to the world. Immediately there is response. That's the sign of life. If you don't respond adequately and appropriately, that shows you have ceased to live. Then we will take you to the nearest burial ground, because there is no response at all. So immediate responses are there. Stone has no response, but you and I respond, receive stimulus and respond to. How do you respond? Through these 5 organs of action. What are they? Speech. You respond through the speech. Oh, it is good. It is bad. I like you, I dislike you, I hate you, I love you, etc., etc. Speech. Or when I see the wonderful morning, the sun rising, I explode into a hymn, a poem. I see a very cute little baby. I bend myself, lift the baby, and feel that bundle of bliss. And I sing songs, lullabies. These are all expressions. A stone does not do that. We have the privilege of doing it. So one is speech, through which you respond. And the other is Vakpani, hands. You have this pair of hands through which you can respond. If you see something, you catch it, you touch it, you throw it, you push him away or her away. All these are your expressions when you get a sensation. or change, lift things from here and keep somewhere else. So things are very difficult, this room doesn't look nice, so you rearrange things with the hands. It's a way of expressing. So vak pani. Then padam, feet. By feet you move from place to place. That's another expression of yours. The way you walk and the speed with which you walk, the direction with which you watch, I can make out who you are. If you are walking to a nearest bar, I understand. I know who you are. You are using the same feet. Or you may go to the nearest temple. So the way you walk, the enthusiasm with which you walk, all these reflect your inner personality. So walking is a way of announcing yourself who you are. It's a way you respond. You make statements about yourself. So vaka, pani, padam, and then payu. Payu, the excretory organs, the excretory organ, the sweat organs, and the various other excretory organs, body fluids are eliminated. All those channels through which eliminate the body fluids are called payu, excretory organ. And also is an announcement of your personality. You can understand the other, the sweat and the way he sweats, isn't it? I talk with you and you start sweating, and I understand there is something going on in your mind which you don't want to reveal to me. That's why you sweat. The sweat is a way you announce yourself, the way you respond to situation. Sometimes you are calm and cool. That is again a statement of your situation. So the excretory organ. And then there is the reproductive organ. That's another instrument with which you interact with the world. So there is the reproductive, excretory, the legs, hands and speech. These are the 5 instruments through which you interact with the world. There is no way of interacting. So but suddenly you see a dog there, a very menacing dog. You walked into the compound and you see the dog. The first expression when you see that sight came through the eyes. You saw the dog and the dog started barking. Yes. And you can, so when you see the dog, the bark and the sight, etc., immediate response comes. What is the response? Shout. The Javo, please save me, shout, the speech organ. Then you shout and nobody comes. Then what do? You run. You run with your leg. Then you find a wall. Then what do? You scramble over the wall. The hand is used. Or maybe you take a stone and throw it. And you are not able to scramble, scale the wall, it is too. It is at that time you start sweating. Isn't it? The excretory organ, various body fluids will start flowing then. you are scared. So all those things happen. There is a total body response. This is the way you respond to the situation. So it says 5 organs of response. So this stimulus and the responses are all coordinated by some inner equipment. That is called mind and intellect. Mind and intellect. That also is very important. The mind has to receive the stimulus, intellect has to process the stimulus and make some sense out of the stimulus. Otherwise you will not know what it is. And the intellect has to consult memory and design responses and give command to the organs of action. So that traffic of life, sensation coming and responses are made, that is called, and the instrument involved in all this is called the antakarana, or the subtle body. And 5 more instruments are involved, the pancha prana, the 5 pranas. The pranas are essentially your physiological system, and the physiology determines your respiration, your blood circulation, digestion, all the metabolic activities, and all determined by the prana. And all the thyroid, the pituitary, the adrenal, all these are part of the prana. So that inner organs together is called prana. There are 5 inner organs according to this. 5 inner organs. All of them are called the prana. So those 5 pranas and your responses and ability to receive sensations, present sensation depend upon your physiological function. Suppose you are suffering from, let us say, constipation. The prana is not working properly. Then you will be very irritated and you will not be able to concentrate on the study. Or there is high blood sugar. You will not be able to concentrate. Cholesterol. Or the thyroid is overactive. Then it is a problem. Pituitary glands. So the inner organ should function properly. And only you can keep the quality of your thoughts, your inner life. So these are the 17 organs which constitute the subtle body. What are they? 5 organs of action, 5 organs of perception, 5 pranas, mana and buddhi, mind and intellect. And all this will be elaborately described later. So I don't want to jump the gun now. So apanchīgrata pancamahabhūtaihi kridam satkarmajanyam sugadukkhādi bhoga sadhanam panchajnānendriyāni panchakarmendriyāni panchapranādayah manaschegam buddhischega evam saptadasha kalabhihi saha ishtadi tad sushma shariram. So the past deeds play a very important role. In this civilization, you say everybody is responsible for his deeds. So the Vedic culture, the responsibility is extended into your past births, past lives. Depending upon the deeds and the quality of thoughts, your antakarana and your body and the quality or the performance of the body is determined. So you are responsible for all this. So that's the Sushma Sharira. And this Sushma Sharira is not you. It is only a tool, an instrument. Just as the body was a tool or an instrument. So that's the Sushma Sharira. And now here is an elaborate description of this. I can go a little fast here. Shrotram chakshu, wait. Okay. Shrotram toke chakshu rasana ghranamiti panchajnanendriyani. So if you ask what are the 5 organs of perception, pancha 5, jnanendriyani organs of perception, they are shrotram, shrotram in the ears, we all have them, toka the skin, chakshu the eyes, rasana the taste, the tongue, ghrana the nose, the smell. These are the 5 faculties through which you receive sensation from the world. And we all have them. We all have these things. It's your own topography, I should say. It's your own biography or whatever. So, shrotram toka chakshu rasana ghranamidi panchajnanendriyani. Now there is a unique insight here which the Rishi gives. These sense organs can function only in certain situations. Those situations, those conditions are not there, these sense organs cannot function. So those conditions are called devatas, deities. It is only in the presence, by the blessings of these deities, these 5 sense organs can function. They cannot function independently. So each sense organ has got a devata, a presiding deity. So your sense organ, my sense organ, and my neighbor's sense organ, all of them function in a given environment. If that environment is not there, they cannot function. So what are those environment or presiding deities in the presence of which these sense organs can function? That's very interesting. Now it comes Shrotrasya dik devada. Shrotra means the ears, Shrotram, the ears. If they have to function, they need a certain environment. The environment is dik, the four quarters. If the four quarters are not available, this particular sense organ cannot function. The directions, the dik, devada, because sound travels in the four quarters. So without them, listening is not possible. So it is said that the dik, these four quarters, are the presiding deity of this particular faculty called the Shrotra or the ears. So whenever you do puja, there is something called Anganyasa. Anganyasa means you have to connect the Devada with the Indriya. Indriyas are the sense organ. And you have to surrender the Indriya to the Devada. So if it is Shrotrendriyam, the Shrotrendriyam is to be surrendered to the Devada. And in say, Shrotre Vak Devada Tishtandu. May the Vak Devada bless my ears, my hearing capacity. And if you chant and remember it, they say you will never have an ear problem. Yearly problems you may get, but you will not have ear problem, meaning hearing problem. Shrotrasya dik devada. So, Shrotre dik devada tishtandu. So, that kind of a connection, blessing. Shrotrasya dik devada. Now, so they are devadas. They are devada means presiding deities. You may not see any physical connection, though I can give you some sort of a physical connection between the quarters and the ears, because sound needs a certain medium to travel. Otherwise, sound will not travel and you will not be able to hear. So, Shrotrasya dik devada. So, dik is supposedly a deity. The quarters are a deity. Continuing, Tujoho vayuhu. Tuja means the skin. The skin, which is the organ of touch, which is the largest organ in the body. About 21 square feet is the skin organ. So this skin, Tujoho, what is the presiding deity of the skin? Vayu, the air, because the air creates the pressure, because of which you are able to feel. If there is no pressure, you don't feel. Not only you don't feel, everything will come out. The skin will not be able to hold you. Too much pressure, too little pressure, the inside will be outside. So therefore you need the pressure of the air to keep you together. The skin is wrapping up the inside, all the organs are wrapped up by the skin. Skin requires the pressure of the air. So, Shrottajoho Vayuhu. Vayu, air, is the presiding deity of the skin. So, good air is necessary, clean air is necessary. So, when you pollute the clean air, good air, you will be the sufferer. That's why all the skin problems and all those. So, Tajoho Vayuhu. Now, Chachushaha Suryaha. Chachusha, the eyes, the presiding deity of the eyes is the Surya, the sun. That we all can agree. Because without the sunlight, your eyes cannot function. No, I don't need any sunlight. I can read it in the electric light. Electric light also is a modified sunlight only. Is another version of the sunlight. So whether it's the sunlight or the moonlight or the electric light or the candle light, all these are various modifications of the sunlight. Therefore it is said sun is the presiding deity of the eyes. So every day you get up and look at the sun and then offer Gayatri. So you will have good eyesight. So Chachusha Suryaha Rasanayaha Varunaha. Rasana means the taste, the tongue. The presiding deity of taste or tongue is Varunaha. Varuna is the lord of waters, water. And you know the tongue needs water to taste. If you eat a lot of food, immediately you need a glass of water, because without water the taste buds won't function. So the presiding deity of taste is Varuna, the lord of water. Rasanayaha Varunaha. Now you may ask me, have you seen Varuna? I have not. But I know that a certain environment is necessary for the functioning of the sense organ. If this environment are not there, these sense organs cannot function. So we call these environment deities, many deities who bless and make the activities of sense organs possible. Rasanayaha Varunaha Granasya Ashinau. Now what is the presiding deity of the Grana, the smell? Ashinau. So Ashinau are the two young beings. They are very young, very beautiful being. They are called Ashwini Kumaro. And it's explained that this Ashwino stands for Oshadi Vanaspadaya. Oshadi means herbs, Vanaspati means plants. So Oshadi, herbs and plants, determine they are the devatas for Granasya smell, isn't it? The rose smells very well. So that's the source. The source of the smell is the earth. So Granasya, for the smell, the presiding deity is Ashino. They preside over the activity of smell. So what we do here is just use that word Ashino, Grane Ashino Tushtandu. That's all what we say. Meaning, so you get a expanded vision about things. These sense organs cannot function without the presiding deity. Their blessings are necessary. So in the puja, before the puja you do, this is called Anganyasam. When a pujari performs the puja, first he has to do Anganyasa, connect Indriya with the Devadas. So what is the Anganyasa he does? Shrotrasya Dig Devada, Shrotrasya Dig Devada, Tujoho Vayuhu, Tuji Vayu Tushtandu. May Vayu bless my skin, may the quarters bless my ears, may the sun bless my eyes, may Varuna, the lord of water, bless my tongue, and may Ashwino bless my Grana, the power of taste. This is what we say. Thus you expand your awareness. So these are the many devatas. I have enumerated them here. Dik, Vayu, Surya, Varuna, Ashwino, quarters, air, sun, Varun and Ashwins. These are the devatas. And in the mantra shastra, there is a theory, devatas have no physical form. Devatas have no physical form. The very mantra, the vibration is their form. So if you say Ashwino, that word, that mantra, that sound helps you get in touch with that particular deity. You don't know where is that deity, where is he seated, but that deity is there. Just use the word and then you can get in touch with that particular deity. It's not just like if I want to get in touch with you, I take the phone and then ring your number, punch your number, and then you are there. Then I ask you, are you so and so? Then you say yes, because by that word you can be identified. Similarly, just say the word Ashwino, then you are in touch with that spirit. So, Shrotrasya Dig Devata, Tujoho Vayuhu, Chakshusha Surya, Rasanayaha Varunaha, Granasya Ashwino, Idi Jnanendriya Devadaha. So along with the sense organs, you must also remember their devadas. So I have written the sense organs here, devadas here. Now these sense organs have got functions. Function also I have written here. The function of the ears is hearing. The function of the skin is touch. The function of eye is seeing form. The function of rasana, the tongue, is to taste. The function of smell or grana, the nose, is to smell. There is no other activity. These are the presiding deities. And of course, they are made up of the sattva aspect of these elements. So, the ears are made of the sattva aspect of space. Skin is made of the sattva aspect of air. Eye is made of the sattva aspect of fire. Taste, the tongue is made up of the sattva aspect of water. And smell, or the nose, is made up of the sattva aspect of earth. So thus the 5 elements, the devatas, their functions, and the sense organs all said. So all these must come to your mind. Then alone the proper understanding comes. So iti jnanendriya devadaha. We will give you all these in a piece of paper. So that will be your take home. Take it home and meditate on that. So meditation means this. Try to understand all these correlation that exists between the indriya, sense organs, the devadas, from where they have come and what are their functions. Then alone, continuing, shrotrasya vishayaha shabdagrahanam. Vishaya means function. Now tell me, sir, what is the function of the shrotra, the ears? The function is shabdagrahanam. Grahana means contact. Contact with the shabda, the sound. Contacting sound or receiving sound. That is the function of the shrotra. It has no other function. It is the only pramana for sound. How do you know sound? How do you contact sound? You have to use there is no other way. If you use your nose, you don't get sound. You will not get it. You have to use that particular sense organ. So each sense organ has got a definite field. It can operate only in that field. So we call it, that is the pramana, means of knowing that particular object. No other pramana will work. You cannot use eyes to smell, you cannot use nose to see, you cannot use skin to taste. They are all, particular sense organs are used for particular sense activity. So shrotrasya vishayaha shabdagrahanam. Now you may feel these are all ordinary things. What is spiritual in it? I know that I have got a pair of eyes by which I see objects. I know I have a pair of ears by which I hear sound. What is peculiar in it? What is peculiar is you are now becoming conscious of that. Earlier you were not conscious. You are so much identified with. Now when we repeat it, consciously think about it, you can come to know that these are only instruments. I am something different from all this. Otherwise we always identify with. So only to disidentify that this is being repeated, said again and again. Otherwise all of us know. We have eyes and ears, nose, touch and smell. But we don't know that we are something other than these instruments. Continuing, Tojoho vishayaha sparshagrahanam. Tok, the skin, vishaya, the function of the skin is sparshagrahanam, contacting touch. So experiencing touch is the function of the skin. You all know that. Now chachushoho vishayaha rupagrahanam. The vishaya, the object of eyes, are rupa, forms and colors. Chachushaha vishayaha rupagrahanam, contacting form and color. No other sense organ can do that. Granasya vishayaha gandhagrahanam. Granasya vishayaha gandhagrahanam. And the function of grana, grana means the smell, the nose, and all that goes with that particular sense organ is to contact gandham, smell. So now you have instruments to contact these fields of sensation. So the whole world is made up of these 5 sensations. There is nothing more to the world. Either it is smell, or it is color, or a foam, or pressure, or taste. These are the 5 sensations with which the world is made. There is nothing else in this world. So simple as that. That's why we say the world is substrated on the sense organs. If the sense organs are not there, we have no way of contacting the world. Sense organs are the ground of the world. So this manifold world can be reduced to 5 sensations. The world, there are many things in this world, but all of them can be reduced to 5 sensations. Continuing, so Jnanendriyas are over now. Jnanendriyas are over. The 5 deities, 5 Indriyas, 5 Vishayas, and 5 sources through which the Jnanendriyas are made. Now continuing, Karmendriyas. Vak Pani Pada Payupasthani Idi Pancha Karmendriyani. Now what are the 5 Pancha Karmendriyani, organs, Indriyani of karma action? What are the 5 organs of action? Answer. Vak Pani Pada Payupasthani. Vak means the speech organ. Speech organ is a very complex machinery. The tongue, the teeth, the palate, and the cheeks, and the throat, everything participate in producing one single sound. That's why if you have no teeth, certain sound you cannot pronounce. Sha, sha, these sounds you will not be able to pronounce. If you have no tongue, then you cannot pronounce most of the sound. Throat. If you go into northern part of the world, people use mainly the throat. God, that kind of sound. All guttural sounds. German, all guttural consonants. There are very little vowels in the German language. Not that I am a German scholar, but I heard them speaking. There are very little vowels. Dutch language, very little vowels. If you watch them speaking, they all speak from the throat. They don't open the mouth. Words just roll in the... One thing is very cold there, so open the mouth means you lose a lot of energy, heat. So as you go to the north, they just mumble words. They don't open the mouth. Speak vowels, you have to open the mouth. Ah, ee, oo, you have to open the mouth. So they do away with the vowels. So you don't have to spend energy. It's all rolling inside you. So those languages are very, very guttural. And if you go down to South Kerala, Tamil Nadu and all, there are only vowels in their language. They always open the mouth because it is very hot there. In a hot climate, you have to open the mouth. The more you open the mouth, the more you feel cool inside. So Tamil language, Malayalam, lot of vowels. A, E, U, a lot of vowels. Consonants, only 5, 6 of them. So they can continuously open the mouth, and then songs also are like that. They open quite a lot. So he says speech. Speech is a very complicated organ through which we express ourselves. So Vajoho Devada Vannihi, Hastayoho Devada Indraha, Hastam in the hands, another organ of action through which you respond. So the Devata of Vak is fire. That also is very interesting. The fire is the presiding deity of speech. That's why if you have no fire in you, you cannot make a speech. If there is no fire in your speech, put your speech into fire, they say. There should be fire. You should be fiery. Then alone you have the urge to speak. So Vajoho Devata Vannihi. Vanni is the deity of speech organ. Hastayoho Indra. And hence where there is more heat, temperature goes up, you speak more. If you go to India, so much noise pollution, all the time everybody speaks. Because of the heat, they have to speak. If you go to northern countries, Himalayas and all, nobody speaks. There is no energy, there is no heat, they keep quiet, keep to themselves. So, Vachoho Devata Vannihi, Vanni means fire, Hastayoho Indraha, and the Devata, presiding deity of hands, is Indra, Vajrastaha, Purandaraha, Tripurari, Indra. Indra has got many definitions. Indra is the god of gods. Indra is supposedly the wielder of weapons. It's a mythic character. So that Indra is the deity of the hands, the presiding deity. If you want strong arms and expertise in weaponry, use of weapons, you propitiate Indra. Take up a mantra, chant that mantra, and you will be able to master that. These kind of arts which are dealing with the hands. So Indra. And one can practice that. These are all you have to practice. Those who do a lot of activity with the hands. So Vajoho Devata Vannihi, Hastayoho Indraha, and Padayoho Vishnu. And the presiding deity of feet is Vishnu. Vishnu Rukramaha. It is that Vishnu with 3 feet, with 1 foot he measured the earth, another foot he measured the heavens, 3rd foot he measures his devotee's ego, it seems. Your ego can be immeasurable. So he measures with the 3rd foot. Similarly, that Indra, that Vishnu is the presiding deity of movement or pada, locomotion, from one point to another point. It's a beautiful concept. Now, Padayoho Vishnuhu, Payoho Mrittihu. Just read it. Payoho Mrittihu. Payu means the excretory organs in the system. The kidney, the anus, the sweat glands, all these are part of Payu. And who is the presiding deity for Payu? Mrittihu, Lord of Death. It is Lord Death, and final excretion is the body. You just throw out the body, excrete the body, discard the body, and jump out of this planet. That is the final rejection, that finally you renounce it. And therefore, the presiding deity of excretion is Lord of Death. That is the final act of rejection or abandonment. You just throw it, the body, and then go. So rasanayaha, and hence once the body is left behind, the dead body is the most obnoxious sight that you can have. Shankara says, Bharya bibhyadi tasmin gaye gadavadi prane deha baye Bharya bibhyadi tasmin gaye. Bharya, your own wife, who is very loving and caring while you are living. Once you are dead, she doesn't want to see. Take it away. Why? You are loving this so much? No, now I don't want to. It is excreta now. I don't want to see it at all. So this presiding deity of Payu, the excretory organ, is Lord Death. And in Indian mythology, Lord Death is described luridly. Detailed description. He has got a big mustache, long hair, Yama. He rides a buffalo of all animals. So he comes slow but steady. Understand? He comes slow but steady. He is not like a lion jumping and moving. It's a very slow, steady. Death is always like that. It's always slow and steady. You don't realize it till the final cut comes. So that is Lord Yama. It says he will put you behind the buffalo and he will ride you into the world of dead. And if you refuse to go, then he will tie you to the tail of the buffalo. And then he will, so you will be rolling on the ground. And you will have a very painful departure. That's why some people just keep dying, they never die. Everybody is waiting 2 months, 3 months, still he is not dead. So finally everybody gets tired and they go away, that day he dies. This way, it is Yama. Yama is trying to pull him out, but you don't want to go. Attachment here. So it is better that we just leave. No attachment. So death is very easy. So payoho mrittihu. Upastasya prachapadi. Upastasya means the reproductive organ. And the presiding deity of the reproductive organ is Prajapati. Prajapati means the creator of the cosmos, the world. The creator of the world is the presiding deity of the reproductive organ. So that's how you universalize it. So Upastasya Prajapatihi. Prajapati means Prajanam Padihi, creator of the world. Idi Karmendriya Devada. I have put down all of them here. Karmendriya Devada. Fire, Indra, Vishnu, Lord of Death, and Prajapati. Karmendriya, speech, hand, leg, excretion, and Upasta, reproduction. These are the 5 organs of action that through which we express ourselves in this world. So these are the presiding deities. And their functions are given. Talk, function of speech. Grasp, function of hand. Grasp or throw. Mainly grasping, throwing rarely comes. You grasp with the hand. You take. Hardly you give. But the hand has got these 2 functions, taking and giving. Grasp, then pada, locomotion, movement, excretion, and pleasure. The function of the reproductive basic function is pleasure. And through those pleasurable activities, reproduction happens. If it is a painful activity, nobody will involve in it. So Prajapati, the creator of the world, is the presiding deity. It's a very interesting connection, these connections in the world. So as a microcosm, a unit, you discover your connection with the macrocosm, the samashti, the macrocosm, the samashti and the microcosm. There are connections between them. Continuing, idi karmendriya devataha. These are the presiding deities of the karmendriyas. Vajoho vishayaha bhashanam. And what is the function of walk? Speech. Bhashanam, talking. Everybody knows that. Why is it a new information? It is not a new information, it is for you to aware them. The function, it's just awareness. Our problem is not lack of information, our problem is lack of awareness. Information we have, but we don't aware those information, we don't look at those information. So talk, speech is talk. And hand, the function of hand. Vachoho vishayaha bhashanam, panyoho vishayaha vastugrahanam. Vishayaha vastugrahanam. Pani means the hand. The vishaya, the subject of, the function of the vishaya, the hand is to grasp. Padayoho vishayaha gamanam. Padayoho, leg, the function of the leg is locomotion, moving from one place to another place. And though you don't understand this meaning of the deities, just keep that name in your mind. That itself will go a long way. All the presiding deities, you may not understand what is where, what do you mean by Vishnu, but keep that word. That word will, over a period of time, reveal new meanings to you. So Padayoho Vishayaha Gamanam, Payoho Vishayaha Malatyagaha. Payu means the excretory organ. What is his Vishayam? Excretion, Malatyagam, elimination of body fluids. Mala means the fluid, the excreta, that is to be eliminated. So, Payoho Vishayaha Malatyagaha. And finally, Upastasya Vishayaha Anandamidi. Upastasya Vishayaha Anandamidi. What is the function of Upasta, the reproductive organ? Pleasure, he says. It gives you, their activity is to conduct pleasure, to create pleasure. Upastasya Vishayaha Anandamidi. Thus, we have discussed 5 sense organs, their devadas and their function. 5 organs of action, their devadas and their function. So, this itself can become a subject of meditation. So, you meditate on this every day. That is the way you go deep into yourself. As a result of meditation, you disidentify with it. You go beyond them. They are looked upon as a tool. Like a good swordsman, every day he takes his sword early in the morning, looks at it, sharpens it a little, and just waves it a little. Not that anybody is there to, and then he enjoys it, then he puts it in his sheath. And whenever necessary he can use it. Similarly, every day we look at these many organs, many instruments that we are wielding and in our interaction with the world. Okay, now you have talked about 5 sense organs, 5 organs of action, but still few things are remaining. Pancha prana, mana, buddhi, etc. is remaining. You have not talked about them. Because now the Guru knows people are tired of this explanation. So therefore, he is moving to the other thing. These 2, mana, buddhi, pancha prana, etc. can wait. Because you are intelligent enough to understand it. So he goes into, and he will pick it up later. Don't think he has forgotten it. The 5 pranas, mana, buddhi, he will take up later, not at this point. Now from here he moves into the Karana Sharira. Karana Sharira means the causal body, you are unconscious. So that we will see, that is the next question. Karana Shariram Kim is the next question. So we come to the third aspect of our personality. The first was the physical, second is the subtle, first was the gross, second is the subtle. So the subtle and the gross personalities play their role in the receiving and responding to stimulus. So we have seen through the 5 sense organs you receive stimulus, the mind intellect process those stimuli, then choose responses and commands the organs of action, and it responds to the world, which is called the traffic of life. Now, the mind intellect, the antakarana, function under the impulses or some deeper force, under the direction of some deeper force. The deeper dimension of your personality is called the Karana Sharira, the causal body. That is corresponding to the modern psychological concept of the unconscious and the collective unconscious. It is the unconscious which determines the quality of your thoughts, the direction of your thoughts, quantity of your thoughts, your feelings, your experiences, and the words that you speak, etc., all determined by, controlled by the unconscious. Unconscious is an unknown dimension. It will be known only when it manifests. It is the basement of our mind. All unnecessary things are pushed onto the basement. Broken furniture, useless, unwanted gifts, and old stuff. Everything is pushed down to the unconscious. And it's a jumble. And you never visit that basement. And when you visit after a long period, it's all cobwebs and then reptiles and mosquitoes and all that. So you go there and you get scared and you never want to go there. And hence Freud will sit behind your head, make you lie on a couch, and they'll encourage you to speak, meaning go into the unconscious. I am sitting behind. I am there behind. Don't worry. Go through this process of regression. Patanjali uses the word pratiprasava, going back into your own unconscious. And it's a narrow staircase because nobody sweeps that staircase. And it is under the carpet because you don't want to see anybody. So if you want to go there, you have to remove the carpet and then descend into the unconscious. So it's a world of its own. So that causal body, that basement of your mind is called causal body. Causal because it causes the manifested thoughts, controls the manifested thoughts. Of course, there is no rule, all your thoughts are controlled by that. There is no rule like that. But most of your thoughts are emerging from there. And even if there is a new conscious thought initiated by your interaction with gurus and people, even those new thoughts are influenced by those what is you are repressed and suppressed and put away in the unconscious. So that dimension is being discussed now. Karana shariram kim anirvachya anadi avidyarupam shariradvayasya karanamatram sad swarupa ajnanam nirvikalpagarupam yadasti tad karana shariram. So he says anirvachyam, the karana sharira, that deeper level, depth level of your personality is anirvachyam. It is indescribable because their categories or coilies and dimensional domains are crumbled there. You cannot distinguish between one from the other. It's all mixed up. That's why definite categories are not there. It is only when they express, manifest, you know. It's like a seed. If you is there any problem? If you open, yeah, that's okay. If there is, if like a seed, if you open a seed, let's say, cut a seed into two pieces, you won't see all the designs of the future tree. But all the designs of the future tree is there, latent in the seed, and it has to manifest for us to know it. So that's the seed state of your personality. That's why it is called anirvajaniyam, indescribable. It cannot be defined, indefinable. Anirvajaniyam. So even if you go into that state, it is very difficult to determine what exactly it is, the unconscious. Generally it's very when you go to very deep unconscious, That's why if you try to remember the experience of the 6th month old, when you were 6 months old or 3 months old, or when you were in the mother's womb, it's very difficult to, though you had experiences, it's very difficult to determine what it is. And what to talk of the previous birth experience? No way of knowing it. It's a deep ditch, girth, very difficult to understand. So anirvachani, anirvachyam, anirvachyam means indescribable. And hence some of the psychologists say, okay, draw a picture. Maybe that unconscious will manifest through the pictures. Carl Jung and all those people, okay, draw a picture. Okay, choose some of these, from some of these items, choose one thing. So you show him a monkey, a donkey, a snake and a reptile, and you choose the snake. Understood? Understood what is snaking its way in your unconscious, we understood. So this way you try to elicit, provoke some response from him, some unconscious response. If you tell him, if you choose a snake, I will determine that you are a snake before. If you tell him, he will not choose it. Don't tell him that. Just let him unconsciously respond. So it is anirvachaniyam, indescribable. That energy can manifest in many ways. Anirvachaniyam. Then anadi, beginningless. That is another quality of that. You cannot say it just began from your childhood experiences. That's a Freudian myth. It's not only the childhood experience. There are anadi. You can go back into infinity. Anadi. From several births, you gathered these experiences. Anadi. So modern psychology is in Freudian unconscious, Jungian collective unconscious, and you can go even deeper than that, the past birth experiences. And that lives, past lives are many, not one or two. It can be many, many past lives. This is only one body. This is not the first car we are driving. We have been driving many cars, buying it and selling it, sometimes faster than some other time. This way we have been using many cars, we have been living in many homes, many cities, having contact with many people, riding many trains. We have been doing all this. It is not just one. And these the impressions have gone into our system. So Shankara says is anadi, not just one or two. Numberless past lives. Anirvachya, anadi, avidya rupam. That's another interesting thing. Avidya rupam means this unconscious identifies with certain limited objects. Ignorance. The unconscious is ignorant about its own true self. The true self is not known to the unconscious. After all, it is unconscious. That is the meaning of unconscious. Conscious means you are conscious of the world. Unconscious means you are not conscious of anything, neither the world nor the spiritual world. So it is a dimension of darkness where dark magical deeds are being performed by the mind. It's the area of darkness. A lot of things are going on. The alchemy, the alchemists are there, busy working, fashioning out new thoughts. So that's a region of darkness, region of ignorance, basically spiritual ignorance. So you have to pass through that area of darkness to reach the land of light. Land of light is beyond this area. But people are afraid of passing through that. It's like a suburb, violent downtown, not suburb, downtown. You have to pass through that area to reach the harbor or the airport or whatever, of escape. from this world. So it says, so that is the situation. So when you pass through it, you know it. From this comfort of the suburban, you have to go through the discomfort of the downtown to reach the world. And so therefore it is avidya. So this avidya has got many meanings. Avidya can mean ignorance of the self, God. Avidya can mean narrow-mindedness, selfishness, preoccupation with a limited interest. They all come from this region. Your darkest thoughts, they are there. It is from that region all your dark thoughts manifest when the reality check is taken out. For example, in dream. In dream, nobody knows what you are thinking. So at that time, you pull out these dark, dirty creatures, push the lid and come out. That's why you have these horrendous thoughts. Thoughts of killing somebody, mutilating somebody, violating somebody. All of us are capable of that thoughts. Let's not pretend we don't think those thoughts. We think those thoughts sometime. Especially in dreams, many such thoughts come. Or daydreaming also. Daydreaming, these thoughts come. Sometime or other, we would have thought of murdering somebody. I must break his leg at least, wring his neck. That's why Hillary Clinton said, I wanted to neck. That thought comes sometimes. But luckily you don't carry it out. If you carry it out, then you are in the jail. So these thoughts come, these dark thoughts. So that is avidya rupam, so region of darkness. But shariradvayasya karanamatram, and this is the karanam, the cause of activities in the other levels of your personality. Shariradvaya. Shariradvaya means mind and the physical body. Mind and physical body and their activities. On the mental level, thoughts and feelings, physical level, acts and words. They all come from this region. The genesis is from there. So whenever you utter a word, good or bad, genesis is from this region. So shariradvayasya karanamatram. So here shariradvaya means both two bodies, subtle body and the gross body, the cause of their activities, their functions, are determined by this unconscious. It is only an enlightened person who is free from this. An enlightened person is one who has taken a torchlight, gone into the unconscious, threw out all the unnecessary things, organized a garage sale. Understand? Whatever you don't need, somebody will be buying it. So you put everything on a garage sale, and then whatever necessary, he took it, kept it, arranged it, painted it, cleaned it, tagged it, named it. Everything is there. So for a wise man, this problem is not there. For an otherwise person, his basement is the same ugly, filthy, cluttered basement. So shariradvayasya karanamatram. And the wise man's impulses don't come from this dark region, it comes from the beyond, the lightened region, enlightened region. His impulses come from there. An otherwise man has no way of contacting them. Therefore his impulses come from the dark regions. The wise man's impulses come from what is beyond. And from there he has cleaned up the basement. So anirvacha shariradvayasya karanamatram. Satsvarupa jnanam, that this avidya is being explained here. Satsvarupa ajnanam, that is ignorance of your true nature. You are ignorant about your soul nature because you reach only up to there. Beyond it you have no way of knowing. Saswarupa means Atma Swarupa or Tattva. The Tattva you don't know. Ajnanam. Nirvikalpaka Rupam. Another explanation is it is Nirvikalpa, unmanifest. It remains in a seed state. Nirvikalpa means no manifestation, homogeneous. It does not express. That's true. When both of us sleep, a policeman and a criminal sleeps, let us say, side by side in the train. The criminal running away from the policeman and he jumped onto the train and the policeman is chasing. Both of them happen to be in the same compartment. They don't know each other. They are sleeping. They all both look the same. The policeman and the criminal. It is only when they wake up they express their separate identities. Otherwise we all look the same. As children we all look the same. As old people we all look the same. It is only in between there is some difference. So that's a manifested state. So it is nirvikalpaka rupam yadasti tad karana shariram. That is the causal body, he says. That's our causal state of existence. Not casual. Some people read a casual body. One way it is true, it is a casual also. But there it is, that's not the way it has to be pronounced. It is causal body, it causes, it determines, it influences your thoughts, quality of your thought. The entire inner atmospherics is determined by the quality of this basement. The basement is not clean, ants will come and mosquitoes will come, snakes will come, unexpected moments. So better go down and clean the basement of your mind. Continuing. So three shariras, bodies are explained: Stula, Sushma, Karana. And what is your essential nature beyond all this? That is why Stula, Sushma, Karana, Sharirat, Vedirikta. Vedirikta means separate, other than this. But most of the time we see ourselves in the Stula, Sushma, Karana, they are complex. We identify with their complex. We look into the mirror of this. We ourselves do that. And then we identify with the shadow or the reflection that falls into this. That's the jiva. We identify with the shadow. Unfortunately, none of us have seen our real face. I challenge you, none of you have seen your real face. Any of you seen your real face now? Either the mirror reflection of your face, you have seen your mirror reflection and you think that this is me. And invariably I have seen the mirror reflection is more beautiful than your original face. It looks better. And you think I have a better face. It is not true. So either the mirror reflection or a friend's opinion, judge, oh you look good. Why you look good? Because you must have said something nice to him. That's why you are looking good. So either the interpretation of a friend or the interpretation of an enemy, you look nasty or ugly. Enemies. Or the mirror interpretation. We have no way of knowing ourselves. Similarly, we look into this complex and whatever reflection falls there, you think that is your real face. You have no way of knowing unless you watch and discriminate and detach and meditate and contemplate. There is no way of knowing who we are. And if you know the working of a mirror, how does the mirror reflect and what is the relation between your real face and the reflection face, you come to know it. Your real face is something different from the or unaffected by the reflection. The reflection is determined by the quality of the mirror. If the mirror is concave, your reflection will be concave, your face will be big face. If it is convex, your face is small face. Don't get affected, don't get scared by that small face. Big face. If the mirror is, the mercury behind is not fully painted behind the mirror, then you don't patches on your face. If the mirror is dirty, your face is dirty. If there is no mercury behind it, there is no face. Then you say, I am not there. I am not there. So this way, many reflections of your face. But none of these reflections are a true representation of your, but it gives you a vague idea of who you are. So what has happened is we look ourselves into this physical psycho complex and say this is me, and then suffer. So once you know that this is not you, then you are the Atman. There is no suffering. There is no doership and joyership. Otherwise you identify with the jiva, there is doership and joyership. I will come to it later, not at this point. So he says, so stula, sukshma, karana, sharira. Now the second aspect of the definition was avastatraya sakshi. You are the witness of the three states of consciousness. Avastha means states. Traya means three, the three states of consciousness. So that question with reference to that. Avastatrayam kim? Avastatrayam kim? Answer. Jagrada, Swapna, Sushupti avastha. These are the three states. Jagrada avastha, Swapna avastha, Sushupti avastha. Jagrad, Swapna, Sushupti. These are the three avasthas. In English you can say the waking, the dream and the sleep state. You are trapped into play on these three stages. There is no other stages on which you can play your life. The drama of your life is played out on these three stages. The waking stage, the dream stage and the sleep stage. And there are some other stages also. Trance stage. Some people move into trance states. Tired of these three states. Trance. And the trance is induced by many techniques, by medicine. You take drugs, you move into another easy passport drug. Or madness. Madness is another state. When things become very difficult, you decide to get mad. That's how madness is. It's another state of coping with the situation. It's a state of consciousness. Since we don't understand it, we say he is mad, but he thinks we all are mad. So madness is another state. Trance, like Ramakrishna, trance. Then deep coma is another state of consciousness. You can fall into deep coma. These are all many states of consciousness. But ordinary average person goes through three states: Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. Jagrat means waking, Swapna dream and Sushupti deep sleep. Now question. Jagradavastha ka. What is this waking state? Very beautiful definition by Shankaracharya. The waking state is Shrotradi Jnanendriyehi. Jnanendriyehi means the sense organ, beginning with the Shrotra, the ears. So through these sense organs, Shabdadi Vishehi Jnayade, you come to cognize or experience or know Shabdadi Vishayas, objects beginning with Shabda, sound, meaning the world of sound, touch, form, smell, taste is recognized or cognized by these five sense organs. So when you are contacting the world through the five sense organs and experiencing the world of sensations, that state is called Jagradavastha. So Jagradavastha, you know the world, your sense organs are all active, and because the sense organ is active, mind also is active. So you, the consciousness, after all your true identity is consciousness, nothing else. I hope we agree to that. I am a consciousness, not just conscious. Not just conscious. Conscious means you are conscious of this material world. But there are states when you are not conscious of the material world. In that state you say, I am unconscious. Unconscious means what? I am not conscious of the material world. Whether you are conscious of the material world or you are unconscious of the material world, the fact remains you are consciousness. As a consciousness, you become conscious or unconscious. And you can also develop a conscience. A conscience, that's a cultural product. Over a period of time, you develop a conscience that I should not do this, I may do this. That's the content of conscience. So your conscience, which tells you what to do and what not to do. You have a conscious, because you are conscious of the world. You are unconscious sometimes because you are not conscious of anything. But in and through all these states, you remain as consciousness. Otherwise, you will not know your unconscious state. Are you conscious of, let us say, what is happening behind this wall? Are you conscious? No, I am not conscious. So, with reference to what is behind the wall, you are unconscious. Are you conscious of what is happening here in this room? Yes, I suppose. So he says that means you are conscious of what is happening here, and whether you are unconscious or conscious, both are lighted up in your consciousness. That's why you say, I am unconscious. I am conscious of my unconsciousness. And that is the light of consciousness. So, conscious, unconscious and conscience, all these are lighted up by pure consciousness that you are. It is in that consciousness these three states appear and disappear: waking state, dream state and sleep state. So waking state is defined here. Shrotradi indriyahi, through the sense organs. Shabdadi vishayahi, the world of sensation. Jnayade is recognized or known. Yidi yad sa jagrad avastha, that is called the waking state. The waking state is when you experience the world through the sense organ. That is the waking state. That's why you are in a waking state now. You experience me or the words, the talk through the sense organ. You can see the speaker, you can hear the speaker. If the speaker doesn't take bath for 2-3 days, you can smell the speaker also. Understand? All these are possible. So that is the waking state of consciousness. So technically in Vedanta, consciousness, which is alocal, it has no location. When it expresses through the mind and the subtle body and manifests through the sense organs, it lights up the world of sensation. And when the sense organs are all shut, as it happens in your sleep, doesn't light up the world. But in sleep you start dreaming, it lights up the inner world. When the mind also is shut, there is nothing to light up. Consciousness alone shines. It's like a big ballet. In a big ballet, thousands of people are sitting there. They are watching the ballet. Young men and women come from all sides. Some are standing on their toes and some are all these dances going on. The light is there illumining both the actors and the spectators. Then the drama, ballet is over, the actors go, and the spectators sit for some more time, admiring or ruminating what they have seen. Now they are not seeing anything, they are not seeing. But whatever they have seen, its impact, they don't want to get up from the seat. One thing they have paid through their nose, $80 for 2 hours. They don't want to enjoy the environment a little more. And still the afterglow remains. The dance and the performance, they sit down and they just ruminate on what has happened. That I would call dream. You dream for some time. Then that also is over. Now you have to get up. They are shutting down the whole thing. So you slowly get out, and now there is no spectacle, there is no dancer, there is no organizer. The only one thing which remains is the light. The light remains there. And the light has nothing to illumine now, except the furniture. There is nothing else. Similarly, in the waking state, you are illumining the whole world, your consciousness. In the dream state, the sense organs are all shut down. So the world is not illuminated. What you illuminate? Only the mental thoughts, disconnected thoughts. Because in the waking world, your thoughts are all related to the world, condition, process your thoughts. My thoughts have to be connected with the world. Otherwise I am madman. I have to. The material world process conditions my thoughts. But in the dream world, the material world has nothing to do. It's only my own mind creating world. That state is called the dream state. So waking state is already explained. Now let us see the dream state. And the dream state has got a big role in keeping human beings sane. Because human beings come into this world with a project of fulfilling numberless desires. You come into this world with many desires. All these desires can never ever be fulfilled. All these desires entertained by all the people, 6 billion people entertaining all the desires, cannot be fulfilled. Therefore God has given you this rare facility to dream. Whatever you cannot fulfill in the material world, you can fulfill in the dream. You want to kill somebody in the dream world. You can drag him into your dream world, finish him off, and then you can sleep well. When you wake up, you are not arrested. In the dream you may be arrested, but that doesn't matter. So he says, there is the waking world experience, Tattvabodha. In the waking world experience, the objects shine in your consciousness. Thoughts move in your consciousness. Now, that's understood, that's a waking world. And this waking world, we spend only maybe 20 years of our lifetime in the waking world. You are citizen of the waking world only for 20 years. That itself is doubtful. Till 15 years of your life, you are in your own world, thinking the waking world you don't see at all, the realities of the waking. After 80, again you have no experience, or you don't hear anything, see anything, nothing. In between, most of the time we sleep. So the waking world experience is very little, not much, though we give a lot of importance to that. So that's your waking world experience. Now we come to the sleep world. So Shrotradi, Jnanendriya, Shabdadi, Vishesha, Jnayadayadi Yada Sa Jagradavastha, Stula Sharira Abhimani Atma. That state, Atma consciousness, is confined to Stula Sharira, your physical body. Your consciousness conditioned by your physical body, Atma Vishya Ityuchade. At that state you are called Vishya. Vishya means the wake up. Vishya, the wake up. That state is called the waker and the waking state of consciousness. You are identified with the mind, the body and the world outside. Wake up. Now continuing. Sapnavastha kedi ched Jagradavasthayam yadrishtam Yashrudam Tajjanida vasanaya Nidra samaye Yas prapancha pradiyade Sa sapnavastha Sukshma sharirabhimani atma Tejasa ityuchade. Shankara goes for a very practical definition of dream state now, very practical. Most of our dreams are replay of your waking world experiences, isn't it? A replay of it. You have a record inside, record of all the waking state experiences, then you go back. So you attend an interview and that man told you finally, sir, no, sorry sir, you can say go somewhere else. That day you go to sleep and then you replay the interview. He asks you questions and you dazzle him with your reply, and then he is overwhelmed by you, he gives you the post. And then you are very happy. Then you are dancing and jumping and dancing, then you fell down in that dance and then you wake up. Then you realize there is no such an interview ever taken place. So from your waking world experiences, the impression that you gather from your waking world experiences project a private world of dreams for you. It is not experienced by anybody else. It is your private experience, but conditioned by your public experiences. You go home. So he says, Swapnavastha kedi ched. If you ask me what is dream state of consciousness, Jagradavasthayam yadu drishtam yadu shrudam. Whatever you have seen, drishtam, shrudam, heard in the Jagradavastha, in the waking world, they leave their impressions in your unconscious. Yadrishtam tajjanida vasanaya. Those impressions are called vasanas, tendencies, impressions are gathered. And those vasanas, nidra samaye. So vasana can be something very good that you experience. They leave their vasana. Something very bad that you experience. They leave again their vasana. So you relive that in the dream state. Nidra samaye, time of deep sleep, yap prapancha pradiyade. Whatever prapancha, world, pradiyade, appears, sa sapnavastha. So the world which appears while you are dreaming, and the world which appears is gathered from the impressions gathered from your waking state. So that false world, private world, I wouldn't call it a false world, that also is a very deep experience. That world is called dream or sapnavastha. Sapnavastha. Generally all our dreams are determined by our worldly experiences, this worldly experience. That there are certain dreams which is a result of your past experience. That's why sometimes you dream such dreams which has no explanation from your worldly experiences. So such dreams are called carryover from the past life. Some people get those dreams. There is no reason for such dreams. They give you such a description which has nothing to do with this world. And there are some dreams which relate to the future. They are very prophetic dreams. Sometimes your mind opens up. When you sleep, you are not preoccupied with the worldly things, you get information regarding the future. Those dreams are very prophetic and they come to be true regarding the future. But most of the dreams, or sometimes you can have visions, revelation. In a state of contemplation, then you get revelation. In dream you get revelation. You wake up, you find the problem is solved. Revelation. So all these are possible. But majority of our dreams are private projections. So two people may sleep on the same bed, but their dreams are different. One man dreamed that he has reached Tokyo, the other man, both are in the same room. The other man dreamed that he has reached New York. One is in New York, one is in Tokyo, but both of them wake up. In New York somebody fell down, he woke up. Tokyo, another person woke up. Both of them find themselves in Kalamazoo, in the same room. Understand? So he says all these are possible. So there are many dreams and dreams. It's a totally different world. But only thing which distinguishes dream world from the waking world is, waking world has got a objective reality about it. It's a public world, whereas dream world is no objective reality, subjective and private. You cannot share it with anybody. The money that you got in your dream, can you exchange it in a bank? No. In the dream bank you can. You can take the money, go to dream bank and exchange. So that's the dream and the waking. Now in the dream state, Sukshma Sharira Abhimani Atma, consciousness is caught up, identified with the subtle body, not the gross things. And that state of consciousness identified with subtle body is called Tejasa Uttichade. Tejasa means dreamer. Dreamer, you project your world. So why this device? Why this dream? Dream is very important for letting the steam. Otherwise we all will go mad. REM, sleep. Rapid eye movement. Sleep means you are dreaming, and which is very, very important for our health. Dreaming. So Sukshma Sharira Abhimani Atma Tejasa Ityuchade. Okay, now I understood, sir. We move into Jagrata Avastha and Sapna Avastha, waking state and dream state. And there are in between stations also, between the dream and the sleep. Generally we experience in such a Vedantic classes, in between states. Understand? Neither dream nor sleep, you don't know whether it is real or unreal. Very difficult to know. Many in between stops are there. We are not talking about that. We are talking about the waking state, then to the dream state. And from dream state, the last stop is the sleep state. What is the sleep state? Ada sushupti avastha ka. Now then, sushupti avastha ka. What is sushupti? Deep sleep. I would like to know. So here the Rishi takes a different route in knowing, analyzing the Sushuptyavastha. Sushuptyavastha is explained in terms of what the waker reports after a good sleep. Otherwise there is no way of knowing. What really happens in the Sushuptyavastha, sleep, what happened? You go to deep sleep. What is that state? What is your experience there? Did you see anything in that deep sleep? Did you see anything? No. In deep sleep you don't see anything. If you see something, then you are dreaming, not sleeping. Of course, dream happens in sleep. But in sleep, deep sleep, you don't see anything. You don't think anything. Is it not? So, you cannot say, there is no objective experience. So therefore when you wake up from sleep, I ask you, how was it? How was it? Then you report. What do you report? Aham na kim na janami. I knew nothing. There was no object for me to experience. Aham kimabi na janami. Na janami, I know not. Kimabi, nothing. Nothing do I knew did I know in that sleep? There's total blanketed experience. So that kind of a report, you report that. To report that, you must have an experience. Otherwise, you cannot report it. Some people say, no, you were not there. In sleep, you are not there. When you wake up, you come there. No, you are there in sleep. But you did not experience anything in sleep. Now, after all this class, you go home and your spouse asks you, what did the Swami say? What is your answer? I don't know anything. But that does not mean you were not here. You were here. Otherwise, you will not say, I don't know anything. You are here, but somehow or other you slept off. So therefore, you cannot report it. There is no experience for you. But you were there. So that you can report that. I did not know. So sleep experience is a report by a experience. And his experience is that I had no experience. That is your experience. Aham kimapi na janami. Then, sughena maya nidra anubhuyada. Sughena, very comfortably, maya by me, nidra anubhuyada, slept well. I had a happy sleep. I was very happy, happily sleeping. That's all my experience. So there is an experience of happiness, but no experience of objects, of people. A lot of investigation has gone into this. What is the source of that happiness in sleep? Because you never ate an ice cream, never see a movie, you never talked with your good friend, then how do you experience the joy? In the sleep state. So it is said the sleep state joy is a reflection of your spiritual joy. What you get at the state is a reflection of your spiritual bliss. But unfortunately you don't know that. You don't know it, therefore you don't know the source. There is another source for happiness in that state. That is why it is Sushupti Anandam. And when you know it, Sushupti Anandam becomes Jnana Anandam, happiness of knowledge, wisdom. Saham kimapi na janami sukhena maya nidra anubhuyada. Idi Sushupti Avastha. This is what is called Sushupti Avastha. Sushupti Avastha means the state of sleep. So three states you move: Jagrata Avastha, Sapna Avastha, Sushupti Avastha. Jagrata Avastha you experience the world, Sapna Avastha you experience the activities of the mind, and Sushupti Avastha there neither mind nor the waking world. There is only consciousness, blanketed in ignorance. There is neither spiritual knowledge nor material knowledge in that state. You are fully ignorant in that state. But you are very close to that land of light in Sushupti Avastha. Very close. There is always an invisible barrier. So he says from sleep you cannot move into enlightenment. You have to always come back to the waking. Otherwise it is very easy. Though it's quite near. From Sushupti it is the other door or the other side of the fence. But as decent human beings, you are not expected to jump the fence. Come through proper way. You come back to the waking state and then reach the state of enlightenment. So Sushupti Avastha one has to come back. Saham kimapi na janami sukhena maya nidra anubhuyada. Idi Sushupti Avastha. Karana sharira abhimani atma. Prajna ityuchade. So consciousness identified Karana Sharira, the causal body. Causal body we already explained. It is Anadi, Avidya, Saswarupa Jnanam, Anirvajaniyam, Nirvigalpam, and that is the causal body, Jnana Sarupam. So at this sleep you identify with that state of consciousness. That's why you don't know anything. And that state is called, when because of your identification, you are called prajna. Prajna means knows nothing, except that you slept well. You are happy in that state. That is the Karana Sharira Abhimani Atma Prajna Ityuchade. So where are we now? In our search, where are we now? So first it was said, you have to undertake a process of meditation, discrimination, detachment, etc. Tattva Vivekam. And then reach the ground truth, reality, the self, the Atman. So then it was asked, what is the Atman? It was said, Atman is Stula Sushma Karana Sharirar Vedirikta, Panchagosha Adita, Avastatraya Sakshi, Sanna, Satchidananda Sarupa, Yastishtadi Sa Atma, that is the Atma. Then you ask, what is the Stula Sharira? It was explained. Apanjigrada Panchamahabhudehi Krudam Satkarma Janyam Sukadukka Bhoganam Ayadanam Mastijaya Devardhe Vrinavadeva Vibashyadi Idi Shadvigaravada Yadada Stula Shariram. Then it was asked, what is the Sushma Sharira? Panjigrada Panchamahabhudehi Krudam Satkarma Janyam Sukadukka Bhoganam Sadhanam. Sadhana, Sukadukka Bhoga Sadhanam. Then Panjendriya, Panjajnanendriya, Panchakarmendriya, Panchaprana, Mana, Buddhi, Yagam, Saptadasha Kalabhihi Yastishtadi Tada Sushma Shariram. Then what is the Karana Sharira, Anadya Vidya, etc., etc. And when you identify with the Karana Sharira, you are in sleep. Identify with the Sushma Sharira, you are in dream. Identify with the Stula Sharira, you are in the waking state. Accordingly, you are called waker, dreamer, sleeper. In and through all these states, there is one thing which doesn't change, that is the consciousness. Because when dream comes, sleep goes, sleep comes, dream goes. When dream comes, sleep and waking goes, they are mutually exclusive. You cannot be a dreamer and the waker simultaneously. Not possible. They are mutually exclusive. But when one goes and the other comes, consciousness remains uninterrupted, contiguously. And hence that consciousness I am. That is the Atman we are talking about. So having said that, now we are ready for Panchakosha Viveka, which is very Panchakosha Viveka, which we will see in the next session. The transcendence of the five koshas. How do I understand and transcend the five koshas? Five koshas means five sheaths. So the imagery is Atman is in the middle of these five sheaths, five costumes. Isn't it? When we dress up, an undervest, then a shirt, then a vest, then a coat, then an overcoat. Isn't it? Similarly, you have these five costumes: the physical, the physiological, the emotional, the intellectual, and the pleasure sheath. These are the five sheaths in which we are wrapped ourselves. And underneath, in the middle of it, is the spirit. So next is Panchakosha Viveka, a search for the truth by transcending these five koshas. That will be the next thing. So student asks the question, what are these five koshas? And how do I transcend them? How do I objectify them? All those questions will be seen when we reassemble